Is a keyhole to 2025. 2050, sorry. How do we get the children to go through the gates into the great unknown of 2050? What do you think we need to do? That's in 2050 is how many years away? 25 years. Okay. So if you have a child who is 3, where are the nursery people? I can't find them. Great. So you have a 3-year-old. In 25 years, that 3-year-old is going to be a 28-year-old man or woman. What do you need to teach Joy, age 3, to get her to thrive through the gates? What does she need to know? Anybody can answer. Let's help them. What do you think they need to teach Joy to get through to 2050? They already know technologies here. Clear our minds and then we learn together. Do we really need to teach them how to multiply? Yes. To get ready for 2025? Why? When they have AI to do that for them, why do they need to learn how to do it as a personal skill? I have calculators. I have, oh Siri, what is 442 times 10? Alexa, I don't need to touch it, right? Yeah. I just need to say, Siri, what's 472 times 75.6? Hello, Joy. The answer is a future that we do not know and we cannot articulate in terms of concrete knowledge. What therefore should be the focus? Skills. And you've already identified some of them. We need to give them the skills they need to navigate the future. I said this before, I'll say it again. The last time I was here, I love this quote, my favorite quote. If you prepare today's children, you're using yesterday's OS, operating system, on today's software or today's hardware, it won't work. We cannot use antiquated teaching strategies that we were taught in NCE in 1945 to teach today's children. So when you look at your curriculum, when you're thinking about your curriculum, you're thinking about what you're putting together to teach the children, you have to look at it from this lens. You can't just look at it as, oh, they need to know, all these facts so that they can write, what's the first step? National Common Entrance, then Becker, Junior WAEC or Cambridge Checkpoint. What's the next hurdle? I don't see the ability to regurgitate facts as a key skill. I don't see cramming and giving a long speech offhand. You know what we get the children, the ones that can cram, we get them to come and present at the school and the debates. Yes, they have to pass those gateway exams, but more importantly, they have to be ready for the real world. That's why in the curriculum we say everything should have real life applications. Application, that's the difference. Your curriculum is not necessarily the only challenge. The real challenge is the instructional strategy. How are you delivering your curriculum? Is it abstract? Is it concrete, embedded in real life application? And of course, imagine if I had I think it's called a trundle wheel, what those surveyors use to measure. So if you notice, you see them, it looks like a circle, like a single wheel bicycle, and they just go and it goes kick, kick. It's not just about memorizing time. Remember I started from times tables. You don't just need to know timetables because you can tell me 13 times 7. What is 13 times 7? I can't remember 13 times. The point is, teach me how to think. So I don't have to memorize 13 times 7, because I'm not good at memorization. But if I understand the principles, I will figure it out. I'll be able to think through and solve problems. Isn't that what you're teaching them? How to solve problems. So where's the opportunity to learn how to solve problems in class? when all I have to do is, in Nigeria we say la cram, la pour. That is what will differentiate you from the school down the road, as I proverbially say. What will be your unique selling point, your USP? So the parents know when we send our children to Straitgate, primary, nursery, secondary, and all, our children come out thinking. They're solving problems. Their understanding of the world is high. A school is not a collection of individual classrooms. It is a learning community. So if one person is doing something outstanding, everybody, we should all have a workshop and you show us what you're doing and we can all do it. That helps us to grow as a school. So again, based on this success criteria, where are we? Closer. So remember I said where the problem, we need to think differently. So I like to start from here before I go into what is your curriculum, what it is, because the list of objectives, outcomes are not the challenge. How I think, how I process information, the instructional strategies I'm using. Notice is the younger person, I'm assuming you're under 30?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Is the younger person who's talking about using laptops in the classroom. So you see what I said, that if we don't upgrade, if we don't upskill, what happens to us? Truth. You and I have to upgrade. In fact, I've written another book, actually, I should have told you, I haven't said. It's called Upgrade, moving from critical thinking, moving from note copying to critical thinking. And where I share, because it takes too long to talk about it, and also I decided to write a book about it. Anyway. Moving from note, we will share, yes, I'll share the link. Oh yes, sir, they get. Okay, now let's look at, because we like definitions, I put a definition of curriculum. So this is one way to look at the definition. Everyone can have a moment. Online, they're not my definitions, that's what it says online. This is another way to define curriculum. Pardon? Interactive system. Resources. Learning. Collaboration. Learning experience. Do you see what I did there? So all I did was, you see this long-winded definition? I just pulled the keywords and put them in a graphic. And this is what you remember easier. So again, I say, why do you give them plenty notes to copy? No, don't answer. I'm closing my eyes. So I don't see. Why are we giving them these things to copy when they won't remember? Thank you, sir. Please, extra malt for chairman. Tradition. First thing you need to do is to understand how to use data effectively. We have so much data in our schools that we don't use. You need to ask questions, or start with a question. All of us in research and in things, we always start with a question, right? What problem are we trying to solve? What are we trying to find out? We are trying to review our curriculum to find out what's going on. We need to determine what a problem is. We gather the evidence, analyze the evidence, create a plan, review, and revise. How do we start? We start with ourselves. A self-evaluation. And what does that look like? Reflection on our teaching. I mentioned that before, right? That evaluation box in the lesson plan template. Do your teachers fill that box? They need to. Do you check, when you check those lesson plans, when you go back and do your walkthroughs, your observations in your classrooms, do you check that the teachers have filled those? Do you check that the teachers are reflecting? A powerful, powerful way to get your teachers to improve is to do peer observations, not you observing them as the line manager, but let them observe each other. It's safer. Then it's not tied to an appraisal. It's just come and check out my lesson. I'll check out your lesson. We use the same rubric. Do you have a lesson observation checklist? That sounds like a no.
No, yes, we do.
Okay. Is there a school-wide lesson observation checklist? Or it is based on the different schools? May I suggest, I've heard it. It's fine. Based on different schools, that's okay. I will share a template with you that you can use, that can be used school-wide. Checking IT, checking behavior, checking all of that. And you can just use it. Because the truth is, a good lesson is a good lesson. Remember what I did with the sandwiches? Baby class, primary, and secondary, the same topic. A good lesson is a good lesson, and there's certain key structures. Video, what I mean by self evaluation via video. So a couple years ago, I asked my teachers to record themselves and evaluate themselves. And how did we do this? Remember, we shouldn't have videos of children on our devices, right? Safeguarding. So you put your laptop at the back of the room and you are in front, right? And you record. So we see the back of the heads of the children. We can't identify any children in your safeguarding. You don't put personal videos of children on your devices. Big X for safeguarding. Even if you have them, you use them for maybe training or something, please make sure you delete them. Delete them. Somebody will hack in your phone, put your child's face on some AI porn site, and they got it from you. And we arrest you. Anyway, so we got them to record the lessons, right? Assess yourself. I had 90 teachers, I think, 90. 2 of them, Mrs. Issa, please, can I record another lesson? And I laughed. I'm like, why? What? One teacher said she did not believe it, that she spoke for 45 minutes when she added all the time. It was a 1-hour lesson, 60 minutes. By the time she aggregated it, it was almost 45 minutes. Meanwhile, if the line manager had told her, you talk too much, she will never believe it. And she said she will ask the children questions. When a child says something, she will now explain the explanation. Then ask the next question, and then talk. And before you know it, the time for group work is already gone. But she couldn't believe it. And I had a good laugh, and I said, well, did I achieve my purpose as a line manager? Yes. But she did it via self-evaluation. Another teacher said, Miss Issa, I couldn't believe that's how I talk. That's how I sound. It wasn't good. And I laughed. She worked on herself because she could see herself. Sometimes you don't believe what your line manager is telling you. You're always shouting. And you really don't believe it, record yourself. You'd be surprised. This is the one I want us to do. Departmental self-evaluation. So this is in your school divisions, right? Your SWOT analysis is basic. We use this in business all the time. I use it in school improvement. What are you doing well? What is happening that is good? You're proud of. You can celebrate that as your strength. What is an area of weakness? What is an area for development? One area for development I can already identify here is continuity. Based on what he said about that lovely thing you had before the app that you could use continuity, consistency would be an area for development or weakness. Opportunities. What opportunities are available, but we have not maximized them because we're not doing it consistently? It happened one time. And then what are the threats that can lead to, challenges? So I pulled a sample that I would like you to look at. And I deliberately chose library because, nobody pays attention to the library. So the library department of this school, this is an actual SER of a school. Yes. So the library department did this. And T can also refer to targets. So after you analyze your threats, then you set targets, your goals for improvement. So this school says they had a library management system that was seamless. They could keep track of their resources. That was good. They were getting children. They separated their. They created a second library in the one school, an early years library with SEN books, touchy-feely books. So they had improved. So they were able to identify some great things they were doing. Weaknesses, data management. They had the software, but they were not really tracking what the children were reading effectively. Libraries, the library was responsible for ordering books and textbooks and things. So things were being delivered late because the teachers were not ordering on time. They were not, they were able to trace the challenges. Sometimes when they had events, it was Nigeria Day, Independence Day, Yoruba Day, the teachers would take away their library time and they were not happy about it. So it was impacting their ability to deliver. But without pausing to reflect, they wouldn't have been able to identify what their challenges are. Opportunities. So they have something called Literacy Week, and that week, everybody has Literacy Week, right? We should. There's World Book Day, March 5th, I think. World Book Day is March 5th, World Literacy Day. So that now becomes that week, Literacy Week. They would get authors to come in. Wale Soyinka showed up in the school one day. Even I was like, oh my God. We're also excited. And they would get authors, local, international. They would sell books. So the library made some money. Then they had an amazing thing called Book Swap. And I would strongly recommend it. Every year group would bring in books they've read. So my primary 3A. If I bring in 3 books, I can pick 3 books from the swap, from the market. If I bring in 1, I can pick 1. And that way the parents don't have to buy new books all the time. They did it once a year. And it was really such a great idea. So that was an opportunity for them to explore and to make it happen more consistently. And then a threat, books were becoming too expensive when they would bring in. So they were not getting sales. So they had some books that they had imported so expensive they couldn't sell because nobody was buying. And then the authors that the children wanted to see. Of course, you can't bring in Roald Dahl. And what's that other, all these big, you can't bring these people in. Thank you for the entertainment. Then they set targets. And the targets fed into the school improvement plan. So these are their targets. Improve data management, especially concerning Read to Regale. Read to Regale was something they did like every week, twice a week. During form time in secondary, the children had to read a book, physical book. They would track that data. Anyway, some other targets, right? So let's do it. Conduct a SWOT analysis of your team. Especially teaching and learning and pastoral care. Pastoral care is not how to preach, by the way. It is your child protection and safeguarding. Your welfare. Are the children safe? Do they understand behavior? How do you manage behavior, reporting, things like that? Yeah? That's your pastoral care. Okay, can I give you 15 minutes? Okay, quick 15 minutes SWOT analysis. Somebody needs to write. What are your strengths? So do the table. So draw the table. Let me go back there. Yeah. Draw the table. Draw the table. Then remember, please, there are no right or wrong answers. If somebody says this is a strength, just write it down. If somebody says, actually, I think it's a weakness, put it in weakness. Then you can talk about it and finally decide where it should go. But we shouldn't throw any ideas away. Do we have A4 paper? We can have 2 people writing, it's fine. Somebody wants to draw. No problem. So do your exactly. Do your 4 quadrants: strengths, weakness, opportunities, threats. Can we rub off the board? Do we have Starts with your strengths, what you're doing well, what you're happy with. You're focusing on teaching and learning, and then pastoral care, how you manage your children. Thank you. Yeah, you can say use of technology can be a strength if there's a space you're doing it well. It can also be a weakness if there's a or what do you call it, threat or opportunity. It can, but you have to be specific. Remember, don't throw any answer out. Just write it down. So, what point is it? What point is it? Content what? That's vague. That's why we say it can fall everywhere. So specify, break, like narrow it down. What do you mean by rich content? Help me understand now. What do you mean by rich content? Mm. Okay, so that's then to put it to be specific, you will say rich delivery of WIAC and IGCSE curriculum. Uh-huh. You have specified it as opposed to saying content quality. Which content? Uh-huh. So what he's saying, from what he's saying, his statement is that we have rich content when it comes to delivering the IGCSE and WIAC curriculum. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so the weakness is practical.
Inconsistent practical based learning. We do practical in some subjects, some will not do it.
Okay, 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 okay. No, 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 no. Uh-uh. Yes. You still you set a target. You have to set a clear target for your weakness. So if you say the what did you call it? Practical. No, no, no. No, forget the adjective. What are we trying to do? Practical lessons. So right now we don't have enough. So a weakness is practical based lessons or practical lessons. That's the weakness. That's the weakness. The target becomes consistently deliver practical based lessons. Are we going to make sure in every that's the second T, target. Okay. So to make the target smart, what does consistency mean? Once a week, once in 2 weeks, once 3 times a week. That's how to sharpen your target so you can measure. Exactly. Measurable, there's time bound, so that when you as the supervisor go to check and you're looking at my lesson plans and you see that Mrs. Isa, 3 weeks, no, there's a problem. So somebody can be writing targets and solutions. So think more, unpack. Good. I'm sorry, what school is this? Practical lesson once in 2 weeks.
No, in a topic. For instance, I teach them a particular topic this week. Next week we do the practical. Where they will do the learning, the speaking, the dramatization, the costuming.
For you, it's every lesson.
For maths,
Hold on. Exactly. There's some lessons that, remember, what was our thing? Tradition, right? We cannot teach in a traditional way. That one, let's all agree. Out the door. So what we are boxing as practical is not, it is normal. Every lesson is interactive, is engaging. The children, especially language, they have the opportunity to speak every single lesson. So your group work is fundamentally role play. Yes, every lesson. For a language teacher, I'm saying role play is your practical. That's what I'm trying to get them to see.
I think what is
Uh-huh.
taught is a costume wearing.
In class.
Yes.
There will be a practical